This is not a spec review. I mean, there's nothing really to talk about. It's 2026. It's an old beat up DSLR. Well, this one is anyways. This is my first one and it looks like it's been thrown off a cliff and it still works, but I wanted to buy a brand new one, so I did, and it is beautiful. You can find these for around $350 to $400 used, and the lens, this is a 35mm 1.4, you could probably get it for around $300 as well. Instead of going out and buying a brand new mirrorless camera that you really don't need, in my opinion, because everything's been so good for the last 5 years, like this would be a great second body. So the 5D Mark III and all other DSLRs are about to become the next trendy thing. They're going to become the new film cameras, in my opinion. Today I'm going to go over the 5D Mark III and the reasons that I still love it today and why I actually just purchased another one. So in my opinion, whenever you strip away an EVF, the electric viewfinder, you're stuck with an optical viewfinder, which is the usual suspect for any camera before the mirrorless era. And that just means you see exactly what your lens sees through a live view. So everything is real when you look through it. So the camera can be off and you see exactly what your lens is seeing. Just like on film cameras, it's the exact same way, except you obviously get immediate feedback. However, understanding how to use a light meter on here is very beneficial if you want to go from this to film, in my opinion. If you want to learn how to shoot film, this is probably the easiest way to get an actual DSLR and then go to SLR, or single lens reflex, for a film camera. So you can actually get feedback immediately by looking at the screen. Although with these cameras, you can't really shoot with the screen on. It's very slow. It's a lot faster to just use the OVF on these. And I believe that people are going to start hovering towards this rather than film cameras because film is so expensive and you still get that nostalgic feeling out of a DSLR. One of the things that I tell a lot of people is to use one lens for as long as you possibly can if you do buy this as like a second body or something to play around with. My suggestion would be a 35-50 or an 85 and see how it makes you feel. And as soon as you start getting frustrated, that's when you know that it's working. Because you put yourself in a position where you have to make it work. And if you can't, then you'll find a way. That's how I was for several years. I shot on an 85 specifically for the first year of my photography journey and never took that lens off because I couldn't afford another one. And I switched to the 35 and I saw the world completely different. And as you all know, I love the 28mm. So I kind of opened the doors through that realm. But going back to an 85, I understand how to work with it so well because I used it for an entire year. Same thing with the 35 and any other focal length that I choose. I always believe that having a zoom lens is for people who have been through all the primes, or at least the prime suspects that you would typically be using, such as a 35, an 85, 50. You get a 24 to 70, you're about in all of those ranges. And I do believe that having one lens all the time is very, very beneficial for your creativity because it pushes you to the limits and makes you more creative. The sensor on this camera is one of the most amazing things. I don't know what it is about it, but no camera today has the look and soul of this sensor whenever you pair it with the right glass, especially. I mean, just about everything I pair it with looks really good, but it looks like nothing else today. And I'm not sure why they changed that. Obviously, technology kicks in and you get all these new features and stuff, but as far as the look goes, it cannot be replicated. There's nothing that is built like this today. And when you do get one of these, or at least try one of these, you'll understand immediately what I'm talking about. It's just a lost art, and that's why I believe a lot of people are gonna go to something like this and use it as a second body, almost as a film camera, because it is so unique with its look that it delivers. Mistakes do come a lot easier with this because you don't have the EVF to show you exactly what's happening. So you have to rely on your light meter. And sometimes that can be tricky because maybe you're trying to do a silhouette or something and your light meter is telling you, hey, you're way off. And you have to know those things, and understanding how a light meter works helps you understand mirrorless, and it also helps you understand film And I think that is very important if you really want to understand how cameras and photography works. It's a lot of science and math built in, and I think that's why I love it so much. The nostalgia and anemoia, which is like experiencing something that you have never experienced before, but you long for that, such as film photography. I feel like this is very similar to that as well. I mean, it just, the body, the way it feels, the sound of the shutter, everything just works so freaking well. And I just can't get enough of it. It's 2026. This is a very old camera now. It came out in 2012 and it's been several years. So it still holds true to me. And I never went to the 5D Mark IV because I didn't need any of the upgrades for that. This is the one. This is the golden goose. I mean, it's to me the very top of the line as far as DSLR cameras go. Another thing is that in 2026, a lot of people get caught up on megapixels, and I'm not a huge megapixel guy. I never have been, although I do shoot a Z8 primarily. It's not because of that, it's because it feels like this. This feeling is what I want. Megapixels don't really care that much about. I've been shooting for almost 15 years or more now, I'm not really even sure. And I've never had one client complain about megapixels whatsoever. I don't crop a lot. I try to do as much as I possibly can in camera, and I think that lends back into pick a lens, shoot the lens, understand how to compose correctly, use your lighting, all the things, and you don't really need that many megapixels. These were posted on billboards for years before 50 megapixels came out. So you don't really need that much. 2026 5D Mark III is going to be a vibe. People are going to be buying these things up, I believe, or other DSLRs. It doesn't have to be specifically this one. This is the one that caught my heart, my attention from the day that I picked it up, and it never left my side. It's something that I've just always had, and I've always kept one around. It's just so beautiful. I mean, it's hard to explain. The menu system, how responsive it is for a DSLR. The continuous autofocus is not bad for such an old camera. And just overall feeling, honestly, is the most important part, and the way that it renders the images. Like, those two things really is what encompasses this particular camera. If you do decide to pick up a 5D Mark III in 2026, I definitely encourage you to pick your favorite focal length, or a bigger challenge, pick one that you've never used before. If you're used to shooting 50, go a little bit wider to 35. If you're used to shooting 50, go to 85, vice versa, however you feel. I think that would be a really great challenge for you to challenge yourself and to get more creative with your photography and moving forward, because it definitely teaches you how to shoot correctly, in my opinion. You learn by your mistakes, and with EVFs and mirrorless cameras, it's hard to make mistakes, but I think you would learn a lot by just getting a DSLR. I would also encourage you to turn off the screen, like your playback, because if you do shoot, you need to shoot just a little while and then see how your images are looking, and then scroll through and play through, but don't have your playback immediately. I would just cut it off, and then when you need to play back after a few images, see how they're looking, see what you need to fix. Because if you're constantly chimping, it kind of takes you away from learning how to use your light meter on this particular camera or any other DSLR. I think that everybody should definitely get a DSLR. If you started with mirrorless, I would say work yourself back, and it's definitely going to teach you how to use film photography a lot easier, because you can get instant feedback from this, and it works the exact same way that a film camera does. I think that it's just overall a great camera. This has been my #1 camera of all time, period. The Z8 would probably be second. I hope you guys enjoyed these images. Let me know if you're shooting a 5D Mark III in 2026, or a 5D4, 5D2. I know a guy that's still shooting a 5D1, and kudos, because I've heard those images are even better than the ones that come out of this. So look around if you have a little bit of spare cash to spend, and you don't want to jump into film photography, or if you have your eye on a mirrorless camera that you don't really need. I would recommend getting something like this, because the image quality is just better than anything out there, in my opinion. I would definitely look into the Sigma Art Lens lineup, period. 85, 50, 20, 35, 24, whatever you find. There's a 28 as well. they're all gonna be great. I've shot on all of them and they're fantastic. So Sigma Art 5D Mark III, that would be the 2026 pickup if I were you, because everything's already been so freaking good for the last 5 years. It is hard to buy a bad camera now. So instead of spending thousands of dollars, I would definitely recommend getting something like this, the Canon 5D Mark III. If you found this video interesting, make sure you subscribe because it does help brands reach out to me to get paid for these videos that I do for free. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, peace. Yeah, that's great. These are all the hard drives that I had to go through to make this video possible.